In China, German luxury car brands used to sell incredibly well, but things have changed. And I'm wondering, is this a predictor of the future? Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm the Electric Viking. Great to see you here. My name is Sam Evans. I'm coming to you from Melbourne, Australia. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thanks for supporting the channel. Thanks for supporting my kids' BMX channel, by the way. I'm really appreciative of that. It means a lot to me. Now, a recent report, in fact, numerous reports have come out. However, a recent report from CNAV Post says that German luxury automakers' EV models in China are doing very poorly because no one cares, even their salespeople. Well, to be frank, that sounds like an opinion to me, but the reality is it's supported by facts. Only 3% of all electric cars sold in China are made by legacy auto car companies. The other 97% are made by Chinese car companies or Tesla. What does this mean? Well, BMW, Mercedes-Benz, and Audi's electric cars are not selling well in China. And apparently, even their salespeople aren't recommending them to customers. Some stores are only selling one a month. Now, why might their salespeople not be recommending them to customers? Because they don't have many in the car yard. They're not producing enough for them to be able to sell them, essentially. Now, there's another article here, which I'm going to quote in a minute, that talks about what's going on in the super premium luxury car segment in China. And interestingly, that used to be completely dominated by European car makers. In fact, by Mercedes, BMW, and Audi, and even Porsche. But it's not anymore. Now, in China, German luxury car automakers are lagging far behind local brands in sales and the performance of their electric vehicles, despite their so-called efforts to make a transition to electrification. In a report in a popular media outlet called Tencent News, I'm sure you've heard of Tencent, the people on the channel actually visited several BMW, Mercedes-Benz, and Audi dealership stores in Beijing and described the dismal reception they received of the brand's EV vehicles. Now, the headline story said that BMW, Mercedes-Benz, and Audi's electric cars are not selling well in China, with even salespeople not recommending them to customers, and some stores selling only one every month. Here's what the article said. The number of electric cars sold in China in 2021, purely electric by the way, was 2.73 million passenger cars, of which Mercedes-Benz, BMW, and Audi together were only 27,000 out of 2.73 million, which was about equal to the sales of Neo and Xpeng put together in just a single month. However, the gap is much bigger when comparing to BYD and Tesla. On March the 13th, automakers sold more than 10,000 electric vehicles in China. In March, 13 car manufacturers sold more than 10,000 electric vehicles in China. Crossing the threshold has been the norm for many companies over the past 6 months. But for luxury brands, including Mercedes-Benz, BMW, and Audi, monthly sales of only 10,000 is a long, long way off. Now, in the past, many buyers in China have chosen Audi, BMW, and Mercedes simply based on brand. But from sales data currently, this brand effect is no longer attracting buyers in significant numbers to those brands. Interestingly, in the super premium segment, Porsche, Mercedes, BMW, and Audi were all easily outsold by a completely unknown brand called Hi-Fi, which I reported on a few months ago. Now, Car News China calls Hi-Fi the unknown underdog, as it's a little-known car from Chinese automaker Human Horizons, which only started up in 2019. The Hi-Fi X is rocking the premium electric vehicle segment in China, outselling legacy premium brands every single month. The delivery numbers for March 2022 demonstrate this again, as Hi-Fi X sold double the number of cars than Porsche and triple that of the BMW iX or the Mercedes EQS. Car News China says that it seems that legacy brands like BMW and Mercedes-Benz are having a hard time catching up with this little unknown Chinese underdog. When it comes to numbers, Human Horizons sold 460 Hi-Fi X in March. Mercedes was second with 364 of the new EQC, but it was fifth when it comes to comparing like for like, which is electric cars with only 141 EQS premium sedans. In other words, Hi-Fi sold nearly 4 times as many of the similar model as Mercedes. Now, Chinese brand Hongqi sold 281 of the EHS9, putting it in third place, also beating out BMW, Mercedes, and Audi. Now, as you can see in this chart here, the premium EV segment in China, this is vehicles priced at over 500,000 RMB or 78,000 US dollars, is occupied by Chinese vehicles Hi-Fi X in first, and in third place the Hongqi EHS9. The only premium legacy brand to enter the top 3 is Mercedes with the EQC. So the question is, why are some legacy premium brand EVs doing so poorly in China? This disrupts the fundamental status quo in the country where legacy brands are always more desirable than local ones. At least they were. Previously, a foreign premium brand was always associated with quality and prestige. And that still seems to be relevant in the premium gas-powered car segment, but not in the electric vehicle segment. Now, carnewschina.com says that people might say it is a coincidence, purely a coincidence, that an unknown Chinese brand has outsold legacy big brands. But the Hi-Fi X is a hip, luxurious EV in China. It has held first place in the premium EV segment since December of 2021, outselling Porsche, Mercedes-Benz, and Audi. The continuous reign of the Hi-Fi X actually beat out Legacy Auto most months of the year for the past 12 months, shows that the segment is rapidly changing in China. So what is the Hi-Fi X? Well, it's a full-size electric CUV. It's kind of an unusual shaped vehicle. It's 5.2 meters long, more than 2 meters wide, 2,062 millimeters, and 1,618 millimeters high. It comes in rear-wheel drive and all-wheel drive variants, with the all-wheel drive variant coming with 440 kilowatt or 600 horsepower and 820 newton meters of torque. This means it is the fastest vehicle in China, or equal fastest, with the new BYD Han, getting to 100 kilometers an hour in only 3.9 seconds. What about the battery pack? Well, it's 97 kilowatt hour pack. This gives the car up to 630 kilometers of range. What does it cost? It's not cheap. It starts at 89,000 US dollars. The top spec model is 125,000 US dollars. So it doesn't really have any price advantages over its legacy automaker, over its Audi, BMW, and Mercedes, and Porsche competition. Why is it selling so well? Well, the reality is, in China, people don't think that car manufacturers outside of China, except for Tesla, actually make good electric cars. Now, I don't think that's actually true, but that is the prevailing belief in China. And that is why Legacy Auto is in trouble in the country. Now, should that matter? Yes, it should, because Legacy Auto makes a huge amount of profits in China. For example, even though Volkswagen only sells 40% of all of its cars globally in China, it makes 50% of its global profit every year in the country. So you can see how the Chinese market is extremely important. Personally, I think you're probably thinking to yourself, well, why does this matter? It's just China, who cares? Well, I think this is just a microcosm of what is going to happen globally. Eventually, probably by 2025 to 2027, Chinese EVs will be widely available in most countries worldwide. They'll be better equipped and cheaper than their Western competition. And this is going to have a dramatic change on the automotive market worldwide. Thanks for watching.